Okay, so today I want to talk about the debtors control account. And before I actually get into doing one of the debtors control account questions, I just want to go into the background about where a debtors control account might come from. And this is sort of a rough idea just to give you, I suppose, some semblance of an idea of what it's all about. So, if you imagine, I've just created very roughly, this is going to be my general ledger, and here is going to be my debtors ledger. And within my debtors ledger, I've got three debtors accounts: J. Murphy, P. Ryan, B. Jones. Okay, so I'm going to take some transactions and see what happens when these transactions happen. So, for a start, J. Murphy buys goods on credit from us. So, what happens? He buys goods, we'll say €5,000 worth of goods. So his amount that he owes us goes up, his debtors account goes up by 5,000, and over in the general ledger, the sales account, which is a minus plus debit credit, it goes up by 5,000 also. And so you have your balance book, your debit and credit entry balance each other out. Okay, we'll just say on the same day, P. Ryan also buys some goods on credit. We'll say 3,000, and so this goes up by 3,000. And B. Jones will say 2,000, and again this goes up by 2,000. So far, all these credit sales, in total, your sales account should show that you have 10,000 in credit sales, and you're owed 10,000 by your debtors as well. 5,000 from Murphy, 3,000 from Ryan, 2,000 from Jones. Okay, so let's throw in a few other transactions. Let's suppose that you have a bank account over here. And again, a bank account is like a plus minus debit credit because it is an asset. Okay, so just imagine that J. Murphy decides to pay you some money for those goods. Maybe not for all of them, we'll say just pays €3,000. Well, then the amount that J. Murphy owes goes down. Goes down by 3,000 if J. Murphy pays you 3,000, and your bank account goes up by 3,000. Okay, then let's see what else could happen. Let's say B. Jones. Yes, this is a big one. Imagine that B. Jones accidentally pays you 3,000 when he only owes you 2,000. Well, your bank account goes up by 3,000 again, and here's where we'll see something unusual in a moment. When we balance B. Jones's account, we'll see he'll end up with a credit balance in a debtor's account. And let's do one other thing then. Let's say that P. Ryan, after you did the sales, you gave him a discount of €500. Well, if you gave a discount of €500, then that will reduce the amount, if you like, minus plus, will reduce the amount that P. Ryan owes you by €500. And over in the general ledger, what should there be? It should be in the discount account, and it's a discount allowed, so I might as well give it a full title instead of just all one discount account. Discount allowed is an expense, plus minus, so debit credit here again. 500 goes into the plus side of it. Your record of all the discounts you allowed has gone up by 500. So that's fine, everything is balanced because we've been using the double entry system all along. And now it's the end of the year, and if you can imagine, you've a lot more accounts than just these. And you want to just test out how much you are owed by your debtors, and you want to use a kind of a double checking mechanism that the amount that you come up with is correct. Well, first of all, we look in the general ledger and we do this debtors control account. So the debtors control account, just like a debtors account, it's exactly like a debtors account in that if you want to increase amounts in it, you put it on the debit side. If you want to decrease amounts in this debtors control account, you put it on the credit side. Okay, so it's a plus minus, just like the debtors accounts. But you take the entries I should have called that debtors control. You take the entries for the debtors control account from the general ledger and from the books of first entry. So for this example, I'm just taking them from the general ledger. Okay, so what you're saying is, well, if I have sales of 5,000, 3,000, and 2,000, that's 10,000 in sales. I'm going to take that 10,000 figure and I think about what does that do to the amount I'm owed. Well, they're credit sales, so I'm owed 10,000. It should go on this side of my debtors control account, and we'll call it sales if you like. Okay, bank. I was paid for some of those debts that I was owed. I was paid 6,000, so that's going to reduce the amount I owe. So I'll put it on the minus side. Call it bank. Okay, discount. Again, that is going to reduce the amount I'm owed. So it's going to put it on this side here. 500 discount. And that's everything from the general ledger. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to balance this, and I always balance it by totaling it first, and I total the bigger side, and this is the bigger side, that's the smaller side. So if I total that side, I get 10,000 because there's only one item on it, and the totals must be the same, 10,000. And then this is 6,500 already, so to balance it, balance carried down, I need another 3,500, and that's at the end of the year. We'll say 31st of the 12th, so 1st of the 1st, balance brought down 3,500. So really what I'm saying is, from my general ledger, this is the amount I'm owed in total from my debtors. Now I get it in two ways. I get it from my general ledger, this figure. Now I double check it against my schedule of debtors, my list of debtors. My list of debtors in this case is Murphy, Ryan and Jones. Now what I should do is I should balance each of their accounts first and then add their balances together. So let's do that very quickly. So to balance this account, we can see that this is the bigger side, so it's going to be a total of 5,000, 5,000, and we need another 2,000 to balance this. So balance carried down, balance brought down, 2,000. So it's a debit balance of 2,000 in this account. The next one then is going to be, again, this is the bigger side, so the total is going to be 3,000. And must have the same total over here, so I need another 2,500 to give me my balance carried down, and my balance brought down then is going to be 2,500. So again, a debit balance in the debtors account, and that would be normal to have a debit balance in a debtors account. Now this is the unusual case down here. We see that the credit side is bigger than the debit side, so my total here is going to be 3,000. So this has to be the same, 3,000. So my balance carried down is going to be 1,000, and my balance brought down over here is going to be 1,000. So ordinarily you should, that's more than 1,000. Ordinarily you should only have debit balances in a debtor's account, as we've seen here and here. It should be very unusual to get a credit balance, and it occurs for reasons like somebody overpays by accident, like B. Jones paid 3,000 and only owed 2,000, so now we owe that debtor 1,000. Even though they're a debtors of ours ordinarily, we actually owe them money, so they're kind of, at this point in time, they're a creditor. So it's a credit balance on a debtor's account. So another reason it might happen is if they bought 2,000 worth of goods and then they paid us 2,000, and then after they paid us, we said, oh, here, we'll give you a discount. But then we'd owe them money back, wouldn't we? So again, they'd have a credit balance on a debtor's account. So what we see here then is we've got a debit balance 2,000, debit balance 2,400, and normally we just add up all these debit balances to get the total amount that we're owed by all our debtors. But we've got this 2,000 here, another 2,500 here from owed to us by Ryan, and we've got this kind of like a negative amount owed to us here, which gives us 3,500, the same as over here.